Here we go! The episode begins with these two guys talking about who could beat Shaq in a fight. They're sitting outside in the rain near a group of horses. I have a feeling that both of these guys are gonna die, so I'm not even gonna bother giving them names. One of the guys thinks he hears something, so they cautiously walk towards the sound. Then, when his friend is on the edge of his seat, this guy lets out a huge fart and starts laughing. His friend has no sense of humor and doesn't think it's funny. And then a giant wolf attacks them. I knew they were gonna die. We see Sexy Jawline Guy with an army, so that wolf must have been his wolf that he gets as a puppy in season 1. We cut to a bunch of dead guys. Angry Eye's dad is telling Sexy Jawline Guy that they won the battle easily. For every one of their men that died, 5 Lannisters died. Angry Eye's dad wants to torture the prisoners to get information, but Sexy Jawline Guy says no. Angry Eye's dad seems to be Sexy Jawline Guy's right-hand man or something. Sexy Jawline Guy reveals that the Lannisters have Red-Haired Queen and Young Sad Girl as prisoners. And then we see Sexy Jawline Guy's wife, and she's a nurse. I wonder if they're married yet. She's trying to tell this wounded soldier that she needs to amputate his foot, but he's freaking out. Sexy Jawline Guy helps hold him down while she saws his foot off. After they're done, Sexy Jawline Guy asks his wife what her name is. So this is their first time meeting. What a great first date. Sawing off a guy's foot in the mud. She's mad at Sexy Jawline Guy because she doesn't like the war. He tells her that he wants to kill Joffrey, but he has no desire to become the king. She leaves, and Sexy Jawline Guy is in love. So the Starks and the Lannisters are in a full-out war right now. Sexy Jawline Guy took over for Papa Stark when the Lannisters killed him, and now Sexy Jawline Guy is like, hey, I'm gonna kill you guys because you killed my dad. We cut to Short-Haired Queen's blonde son pointing a crossbow at Red-Haired Queen. He's mad because Sexy Jawline Guy just won that battle. He threatens to kill Red-Haired Queen, but says that he shouldn't because Short-Haired Queen wants her alive. So this is Joffrey. I've only ever seen this kid once before, and I've never heard him talk before now. But he sounds like a whiny baby and I hate him already. He doesn't deserve to be called by his real name. Joffrey orders his guard to cut Red-Haired Queen's clothes off, and then Peter Dinklage walks in with Greasy Mullet Guy and tells Joffrey to stop. Peter Dinklage calls Joffrey an idiot, and Joffrey gets mad and says that he can do what he wants. Peter Dinklage helps Red-Haired Queen up and asks her if she wants out of her engagement with Joffrey, but Red-Haired Queen says that Joffrey is her one true love. Why is Red-Haired Queen acting like she loves Joffrey? I guess she's scared because if she doesn't, then he'll probably kill her. Greasy Mullet Guy says that Joffrey is being such a jerk because he needs to get laid. We cut to the Hound telling Joffrey to look in his room for his birthday present. Joffrey walks inside and there's 2 scantily clad women waiting for him, and one of them is Cleavage Lady. Cleavage Lady starts touching Joffrey, but he tells her to go touch the other girl instead. The 2 ladies start getting sexy with each other, and then Joffrey asks if Cleavage Lady can hit the other lady. What are you doing? Cleavage Lady begins spanking the other lady, but then Joffrey tells her to use his belt. She starts spanking her with the belt, but then Joffrey yells at her to do it harder. Joffrey is either a kinky little freak or just a complete psycho. Cleavage Lady hits her with the belt harder, and it's really starting to hurt the other lady. Joffrey grabs a big pole and hands it to Cleavage Lady. Then he sits down and begins loading his crossbow. The ladies are begging him to stop. Joffrey tells Cleavage Lady that if she doesn't do what he's telling her to do, then he'll do it to both of them. He points his crossbow at them and orders them to begin. Cleavage Lady starts hitting the other lady with the pole, which is slightly less gross than what I thought was gonna happen, and Joffrey watches. Dear Lord, Joffrey is a villain. I mean, how old is he, 14? If I'm 14 and my uncle buys me 2 women to have sex with me, I'm not gonna tell them to abuse each other. I'm probably just gonna sit there too nervous to do anything and talk to them for an hour. We cut to an army camp. A short guy walks up with Tall Woman and says hello to Rat Assistant. This short guy's brother was the king, but he died. And now Rat Assistant is serving the Lannisters. I'm guessing the short guy's brother was Chubby King. Oh, the short guy is a king, and he tells Rat Assistant that he's gonna march his army on King's Landing. Then Rat Assistant makes it sound like he's willing to help Short King's attack on the Lannisters. Hey, at least Rat Assistant is consistent. He just backstabs everybody. We cut outside and see Margarine walking around. Rat Assistant talks to her, and it seems like Margarine is married to Short King, but they're having relationship issues. So as weird as this might sound, the only couple in this show that seems to actually love each other is Short-Haired Queen and Handsome Man in Armor. I know they're siblings, but they actually seem like the most functional relationship in the whole show. We cut to a beaten down looking Legolas Queen. A guy rides up on a horse and tells her there's a city called Karth nearby that will take them in. Legolas Queen asks Scar Guy what he knows about Karth, and he says that a lot of visitors aren't allowed in and die outside in the desert. We cut to young sad girl in handcuffs with Blacksmith and Baker Boy. They're walking near a burnt down castle. Then the 3 of them are waiting around somewhere listening to a man get tortured and killed. An older woman says that these people have killed her whole family and that they kill somebody every day. Now it's nighttime and the prisoners are in a jail cell in the rain. Young sad girl is reciting the names of people that I'm assuming she wants to kill. Where are they? I've seen season 2 episode 2, which is only 2 episodes before this, and young sad girl seemed pretty safe in that episode with the Night's Watch. So in episode 3, they must have gotten ambushed and young sad girl and her friends got taken prisoner. We cut to Mama Stark yelling at Rat Assistant because he betrayed Papa Stark. So does this mean that she's with Short King now? Why wouldn't she be with Sexy Jawline Guy? Rat Assistant tries telling Mama Stark that he loves her, but Mama Stark pulls a knife on him and tells him to leave. Rat Assistant asks Mama Stark if she wants to see her daughters again. He says they're safe for now, but could be in danger because Joffrey is a douche. Mama Stark settles down and asks Rat Assistant what he wants. Rat Assistant proposes to trade Red-Haired Queen and young sad girl for Handsome Man in Armor, who I guess Sexy Jawline Guy has as prisoner. Mama Stark says Sexy Jawline Guy would never agree to that, but Rat Assistant says that he's not asking Sexy Jawline Guy. So Mama Stark is with Short King for some reason. How would she be able to facilitate that trade that Rat Assistant just proposed if she's not even with Sexy Jawline Guy? Rat Assistant then says that he has a gift for Mama Stark. She opens it and starts crying. Rat Assistant says that Papa Stark should be buried with his family in Winterfell. What is in this box? There's no way Papa Stark's body fits in there. Maybe he was cremated and now his ashes are in the box. We cut to young sad girl and the rest of these prisoners getting woken up. The man who picks which prisoner gets killed walks over. They say that he's Shaq, but this guy looks nothing like Shaq. Did they recast another character? Why are all these actors leaving Game of Thrones? Shaq picks a prisoner to kill and Baker Boy pees his pants. I don't blame him. The guy who got picked gets strapped into a chair, and then he gets interrogated by this guy who likes eating fruit. He doesn't know the answers to any of their questions, so this guy puts a rat in a bucket and straps it to the prisoner's bare stomach. The interrogation continues, and this poor guy still doesn't know any of the answers. Fruit Eater tells his friend to light a stick on fire, and then he puts the stick against the bucket. The rat starts freaking out because the bucket is getting hot. Finally, the guy getting tortured answers a question, but instead of taking the rat bucket off, they just continue torturing him. It's nighttime again, and young sad girl is reciting her list of people that she wants to kill, except this time she adds Shaq to the list. I'm so confused as to who these people are that are torturing the prisoners. They seem to hate the Night's Watch, and I'm pretty sure Shaq is working for Short-Haired Queen at this time, so maybe this is like a weird Lannister prison camp? We cut to Son of Fire and Short King talking to each other about their flags. Short King calls woman with red hair a fire priestess and then says that she's sexy. Then it's revealed that these two are brothers. Oh, okay. I've heard Son of Fire talk about his brother before, so this kind of makes sense. Son of Fire tells Mama Stark that he's surprised to see her hanging out with Short King. Me too, Son of Fire. She says that they have a common enemy. Okay, I still don't get why you're not with your own son. These two brothers both think that they deserve to be the king. Son of Fire tells Short King that he'll give him one last chance to join him, or he'll destroy him. It seems like they're about to go to battle with each other, and I'm guessing Son of Fire wins because he lasts longer in the series. We cut to Legolas Queen arriving at Karth. I don't usually mention stuff like this, but look at this wall in this shot, and then look at this gate in this shot. Is that a part of the show, or did they just leave in a big mistake? Like, does Karth have gates that you can only see from certain angles? This fancy man greets Legolas Queen and says he is a member of the 13, a group that protects Karth. Fancy man asks to see Legolas Queen's dragons, and Legolas Queen tells him that she'll show them to him once her and her friends are fed. Fancy man basically says that if she doesn't show him the dragons, they can't come in, and then he walks away. Legolas Queen yells at the 13 that once her dragons are grown, she'll come back and burn Karth to the ground. Fancy Man tells her that she'll die in the desert, so he has nothing to worry about. And then this big guy with a silky deep voice tells Fancy Man that they should let Legolas Queen in. Fancy Man says the muscular long-haired men are savages, and Deep Voice says he used to be considered a savage as well. Then Deep Voice says that he invokes Sumai and pulls out his dagger. He cuts his hand and says that he vouches for Legolas Queen and her group, and Fancy Man has no choice but to allow them in. The gates open, and inside is a big, beautiful city. Legolas Queen and her friends walk in. We cut to young sad girl and Blacksmith standing with the other prisoners when fake Shaq chooses Blacksmith to be killed. They strap him into the chair and interrogate him. When Blacksmith doesn't know the answers to Fruit Eater's questions, they put the rat in the bucket again. But then Short-Haired Queen's dad shows up. Young sad girl keeps looking at his sword as he walks around. Young sad girl isn't kneeling for Short-Haired Queen's dad, and the guard threatens to kill her. Short-Haired Queen's dad tells the guard that young sad girl is not a boy, but is a girl dressed as a boy. He tells the guard to make the prisoners work, and then he says he wants young sad girl to be his new cupbearer. Short-Haired Queen's dad actually seems kind of nice. I guess anything is nicer than having a rat eat your stomach, though. We cut to Peter Dinklage's long-haired cousin telling Peter Dinklage that short-haired queen wants him to release someone from jail. Peter Dinklage asks his cousin to hang out, but his cousin calls him an imp and says no. Peter Dinklage makes it sound like this cousin is having sex with short-haired queen. Oh man! Short-haired queen did mention that she slept with her cousin in season 5. Then Peter Dinklage accuses his cousin of having sex with short-haired queen, and the cousin confesses. Peter Dinklage says that he's gonna tell Joffrey, but then the cousin begs him not to. Then Peter Dinklage says he won't tell anyone as long as his cousin keeps him updated on what short-haired queen is up to at all times. How many relatives does short-haired queen need to have sex with? I mean, she's probably just having sex with her cousin because sexy jawline guy has handsome man in armor as a prisoner and she's super horny. But haven't you ever heard of masturbation, short-haired queen? Or just go out and have sex with somebody who isn't literally your blood relative. We cut to Bastard King's bodyguard talking to Son of Fire on a boat. What the heck? Bastard King's bodyguard says that Son of Fire chopped off 4 of his fingers. I feel like I've never seen this guy's hands before, so it's not my fault I didn't notice that this time. Son of Fire tells Bastard King's bodyguard that he needs him to smuggle woman with red hair onto the shore. Bastard King's bodyguard seems apprehensive, and Son of Fire says that it will help them win the war. Holy crap. Remember in season 5 episode 10 when Tall Woman kills Son of Fire because he killed her old king with magic? I think that's about to happen. Woman with red hair is about to go kill that whole army with her crazy witchcraft. We cut to Bastard King's bodyguard rowing Woman with red hair to shore. They get off the boat and Woman with red hair starts flirting with Bastard King's bodyguard. She says that he will see her naked soon. Okay. They go into a tunnel and then Woman with red hair takes off her robe to reveal that she's pregnant. Has she been pregnant this whole time? What the heck? Woman with red hair just lays down and immediately goes into labor. What is happening? A bunch of black smoke starts coming out of her vagina and then some sort of crazy monster crawls out. And then the episode ends. What the f was that? Seriously, what is going on? I feel like I've seen some pretty weird stuff in this show, but that was... What is happening right now? Is that how she does all of her magic? Does she have to like spit magic out of her vagina every time? I guess you can't hire her to be a magician at your son's birthday party. Is this your card? Who got her pregnant? Did Son of Fire put that demon inside of her body? Or did she... Is that really just how she does magic? Is by getting pregnant and then shooting it out of her vagina? Oh my gosh. This is... Is the Lord of Light impregnating her using his godly powers and putting demons inside of her birth canal and making her shoot little demons out to go fight wars? So that smoke monster that she just gave birth to is gonna kill Short King's army. That seems like cheating to me. Also, I guess young sad girl is gonna start working for the Lannisters now. So she'll get reunited with red-haired queen, I'm guessing. And Joffrey is the worst person ever. He's a psychotic little punk, and I can't wait to watch him die. Is that mean to say about a little kid? I don't care. He's crazy. I'm surprised that it's taken me this long to watch an episode where he is one of the main characters, but I hate him. I'll give this episode an 8 out of 10. I was definitely confused by a lot of stuff, like Mama Stark, why is she with Short King? Why is there a demon coming out of Woman with Red Hair's vagina? A lot of confusing stuff, but it was a good episode and that ending was nuts. Okay, time to reach into these boxes and see which episodes you guys will be voting on for me to watch next. Season 4, Episode 10. Season 2, Episode 9. Season 5, Episode 8. Season 1, Episode 7, and last but not least, Season 3, Episode 6. So go ahead and head over to the poll, which should be somewhere around here, and vote for which episode I should watch next. Here is a graphic that shows you which episodes I've already seen. This week I had a lot of people support me on Patreon, so it's time to do some shoutouts. We've got Rogri, or Rogri. I don't know how to say your name, but I appreciate your support, Rogri. Andy Stevens. Hey, your last name is really similar to my first name, so isn't that interesting? Casey Siegert. Thanks, Casey. I love you. I'm in love with you, Casey. I'm sorry to say it to you like this over a video, but I'm in love with you, so thank you for giving me money to help me make videos. Jeremy Edstrom, you sound like a hockey player. David, just David, could be any one of you Davids out there, so if your name is David, I guess you don't need to support me on Patreon anymore because I'm already giving you a shout out. Thanks, David. Troy Oswald. You know what, Troy? I bet you're a nicer guy than Lee Harvey Oswald. How's that for a compliment? Julia Kelly. You have 2 first names, Morgan Massey, and we got another guy named Jack Massry. Morgan Massey, Jack Massry, if you guys don't know each other, you should meet up. Because this, just based off your last names, I feel like you guys would get along. Because they're similar. And that's how relationships work. And we have Alex Bergen. Bergen, that reminds me of burger, which makes me hungry. Thank you guys for supporting me on Patreon. If you don't support me on Patreon and you'd like to, there's a link in the description, and I'm putting like a button at the end of the video that you can click on. So go check it out. And if you feel like throwing me $5 or $10 or $100, I'd love it. Okay, bye.